to be your presenter today. I'd like to tell you a bit more about problems in Vietnamese economy at the moment. First, I would like to start with a question. If you are going to evaluate the Vietnamese economy, how would be your answer? What would be your evaluation? For you, would be
Evaluation about
the Vietnamese economy at the moment?
I think it's much better than the previous year.
So is it good? Is it bad? Is it promising? Or just still gloomy to you?
I think sure it's good.
So it's better
Yes.
than before, but you can't say that it's totally good, right?
Yes.
I'd like to more or less answer some of your questions. And for the presentation today, I want to explain that in my point of view, the Vietnamese economies have a series of dilemmas. And the presentation will be about 3-4 minutes maximum. You can ask a question at the end of the presentation. So, series of dilemmas that I would like to explain comprise 3 points. First, dilemma in the banking system. Second is dilemma in economic growth, which you know GDP. And finally, a dilemma problem in government spending that we haven't been able to solve yet. First, let me explain a bit about the dilemma in the banking system. So we all know the banks and the bankers, right? We were once really interested in bankers. We wish that we would be them, making like thousands of grants per year and jobs are easy. And then came the banking crisis in 2008, which broke down everything in the banking system. Now we have the dilemma in the banking system that there's a large amount of money in the bank, but the companies and also the people can't access the fund. One of the reasons why is because during the crisis, before the crisis in 2008, the banks were too easy on lending companies. They were expecting too much returns from the companies, so they didn't follow the rules and standard, which results in a lot of bad debt, a huge amount of bad debt that lies in the banking system today. That is why interest rates were pushed up really high. There was a time that reached like 23%. And because of the high rates through all the banks, people were happy, really happy. They think it's good investment, so they put a lot of money in the banks. But again, because the interest rate was so high, the company couldn't access the fund. And now, even when the interest rates are lower, companies still can't access it because the banks set up new standards and rules to make sure to prevent bad debts in the future. So the companies right now, if they can qualify for all of the standards that the bank set up, they don't really need the money, right? Because they can't expand their business. They can't sell it to everyone when the economy is still so doomed. But then a lot of other companies who really want the fund to save themselves after the crisis, they can't access the fund because they're not qualified for all of the standards. So we have dilemma number 1. The banks hold so much money, but they can't lend, and they're so afraid to actually lend out to companies. That's why the targeted credit growth is 12 to 14% for this 2014 year. But then now we only reached 7.2%, and it's already like 3 quarters. That means it has grown at a very, very slow pace, and we probably can make it to 12 or 14% this year. The next situation that I'd like to talk about is the dilemma in economic growth. It probably looks promising now, as you may say, that it looks better than before, but still, it's the main, the important thing is the living standard has not been improved. So we have GDP, which is gross domestic product, targeted this year at 5.8%, and now we have reached 5.2%. It looks promising, but its problem is most of the revenue and the production calculated in the 5.2% GDP that we achieved actually came from FDI company, which is foreign direct investment companies, and also from exploitation of natural resources. So it's not actually production of the domestic companies. So instead of bringing revenues and products for the domestic companies, it brings profits and revenues for the foreign companies that stay in Vietnam. So instead of improve living standards for the citizens of Vietnam, it actually brings all of the revenue of the profits outside of the country. So we have dilemma number 2, that we have promising economic growth but not improve living standards. The final point, last but not least, and I think is one of the key issues, is the problem in government spending. So in order to tackle bad debts in the banking system, and also to push economic growth, to push living standards, you need to, the government needs to increase the aggregate demand, which is the demand of the whole economy as a whole. It can only do that through public spending. But at the moment, the government need a lot of money for projects, public projects and construction projects like the Long-Thanh Airport or a lot of new highways. But actually, it is facing very high budget deficit already. And also on the spending, too much spending is for recurrent spending instead of development. And they say that 70% is for recurrent spending, and only 30% is for development. It's not enough for the project, it's not enough for the future development of the country, and also for all of the ongoing project. And also we have already acquired too much public debt. So we have dilemma number 3, that we need to increase government spending, but we are already overspending, so we're already facing too much public debt. So that 3 problems, that 3 dilemmas that I just explained, I think are the most acute problems at the moment. But then again, it would be interest us to discuss furthermore. I think the remedies for these 3 problems is equitization, restructuring, which we talked about a lot already, and also procedures and formality reforms we are pushed by the leadership but haven't really shown any improvements. So those remedies maybe could be explained in the next presentation, maybe. So that I talk about the 3 problems in government spending, in the banking system, and in economic growth, and I hope that enlighten you a bit more about the current situation of the economy. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.
Thank you.